Hey everyone, Michael here. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today I wanted to break down what's going on with Bitcoin and why it's so hard for us to break out right now, and just doing some simple technical analysis and letting you guys know what's happening with all the oscillators, because there's some really interesting stuff going on there. Today's video is sponsored by LBank, a leading crypto exchange known for futures and spot trading. Ready to take your crypto journey to new heights? Make the leap with LBank today. Use my link and sign up and get exclusive benefits. With LBank, navigate the crypto market with confidence and precision. So, to kick things off, I'm just on the Bitcoin monthly chart here. We're looking at stuff all the way back from 2018, 2020, all the way to where we are now in 2023. Because what we've been seeing is the stock market going up and up and up over the past few weeks, but Bitcoin is still, not really making that big move over the last few weeks. So, why is this happening? So if you guys would add a Fibonacci extension tool on here to your charts, going all the way back over here to the last real big low we had in 2018, drag that sucker up here to all-time highs, and then back down here to, you might call the FTX lows, right? What you see when you put that on here is this massive level of resistance that's just being a little hard for us to break above. On top of that, you can also see we have a level of resistance here, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, really around that $32,000 mark. This is what's really stopping us from going much higher. There's a lot of price action, a lot of resistance at this point in time. If Bitcoin is able to break above this, then we're cleared to go back up towards $35,000, $40,000, and that's where all of you guys will be very, very happy. But unfortunately, as always, when we're looking for these big pops, there's kind of a time limit to see if we're going to have the big pop now or a big pop a few weeks or a month down the road. So what we're going to do is go over here to the weekly chart, and I want you guys to see a few different things. There is that level of resistance right here. We've gotten closer and closer every month. We're hoping that we can have a breakout. But right now, here's what's happening. We know we had some really crazy times with the banking crisis over here, and then this, Binance crisis or SEC crisis going after everybody. So we had some really negative days, so to speak. But, if you just add a trend line right here, this is pretty much our time limit until we start seeing some larger drops. And by larger drops, we're at 30,000 bucks right now. I don't mean we're going to 10,000, 5,000, 20,000, whatever like that. This most likely means we're most likely going to be going down to $25,000 if we do break down below the support level. I think it'd be a great opportunity to buy some up for short-term gains. But historically, it's better for Bitcoin going up if the stock market is also going up. So if we're at this resistance level, and while we're still consolidating, if the stock market continues to drop or starts to drop off of the big resistance levels coming up, then we're going to see Bitcoin come down and not take that big move up, because there just wasn't enough buying pressure there to break through this massive wall, which is insanely massive, okay? Now, this kind of expires around, mid-August, late August. That's what I would say right now. So we have plenty of time to actually have this breakout. On top of that, you guys can see the trends have started to change. We have the 20-week moving average, breaking above the 200. That's a nice bullish move right there. We want to see if we can continue going higher, because of course we are still making higher highs. That's what you guys want to see. Unfortunately, every few days we do have this little bit of a breakdown here, because Bitcoin's been trading in the range over the past 2-3 weeks now. If I put this up, you can see pretty much a range that looks kind of like this. We've just been trading in the middle of that. So when we get down here, you tend to buy. When we get up here, you tend to sell. And until we have a breakout really above that $32,000 mark, it's going to be that way for a while. Some of the things that I want you guys to be aware of, because we may possibly break down below this trend, is watch to see what happens as the 50-day moving average creeps up above this trend line here, or this level of support for us currently. Remember, 50-day moving averages, take the last 50 candle bars. If we were to check this out very fast, last 50, all the way right here, okay? So every week that goes by, or every day that goes by, oh, that was the biggest glitch I've ever seen. Okay, every week that goes by, let's go back over here, 72, 50, there you go. Every week that goes by, we replace a candle that was at 21,000 with a candle that's at 30,000. So this 50-day moving average, should start creeping up here very, very fast. And then eventually we're going to start replacing the ones all the way down here at 26,000, 25,000 with the ones up here around 30,000, maybe 31,000, whatever we end up going to. So this 50-day moving average is going to start to scream up here pretty soon once we start giving up a lot of these lower candles and giving the higher ones, okay? So if you guys are looking at this, Well, that means we could have a big move towards the end of the month, probably sometime next week, I would say. So if you guys aren't experienced traders, just be careful, because I expect next week to be extremely volatile, maybe with a large move down. But I'm hoping before that happens, we have some type of good news coming from the SEC or the markets or something like that to actually cause Bitcoin not to necessarily break out, because I think that's going to be very hard, but at least get back up and hold the 30,500 range, or possibly start going up towards $31,000. That's really what it's going to take. Now, as far as oscillators are concerned, here's the trick. I'm just going to pull up a whole bunch of them, because I think it's important to see what's going on here. We're starting off with the Bitcoin weekly chart, and you guys can see what's going on. We're at the level of resistance here. You can think about it, the Fibonacci extension, or this level of resistance here. Doesn't really matter at this point. But let's open this one up right here. We got the typical MACD. This one isn't showing us too many problems at this point. What we're seeing is a little bit of a bearish divergence here, a little bit to worry about, but usually the bearish divergence on the weekly chart don't really matter too much unless we're kind of consolidating for a long time. We've been kind of having these breakouts over the past few months, so that's a good sign there. But just be aware, we are seeing some bearish divergence as far as the MACD. We're seeing lower highs here while making higher highs on the actual chart. Okay, now let's get rid of this one right here. Next up, we're going with the typical RSI. Not much to talk about here. We are not oversold, but again, we are seeing some divergence. I think where things get a little bit more tricky here is if you go to the daily chart for a lot of these, you can see we were oversold back over here, or see, we overbought way over here. And ever since then, we have been seeing a little bit of divergence. I would say this is more of a hidden divergence, to be frank, but we'll go into that a little bit more in a few minutes. But on the daily chart, we're not oversold, we're not overbought. We're kind of in that sweet spot here, which is always a very nice thing to be part of. Now, after that, we have the stochastic, which I just deleted. And there we go. Let's put this bad boy up. Okay, this one's interesting. We're at the lows right now. And that's just because where I have this thing fine-tuned is usually for major levels of support. And this is, where that big level of support here for Bitcoin. Now, zoom out a little bit more. It's okay. We just had a crossover here. Hopefully that crossover means something important. But again, we do have all these bearish divergences, so it could be a 1 to 2 day pop and not something like a forward or like a monthly breakout where we're going to 35,000, okay? Next up over here, which one was this one? The CCI, okay. CCI, we're at the bottom. This is kind of a buying zone for the CCI. Typically, I trust the CCI, especially the default settings here on TradingView. That's why I have a long position still open at this point in time. I haven't been opening up many new positions, but the longs I do have, I still have them open because I believe in overall 1, 2, things are bullish, RSI, neutral, and the only thing that was really bearish was the MACD on the weekly chart, okay? Now, and we're also at a major level of support. So I still think this is a buying opportunity for us, and I expect Bitcoin to maybe have a 1 to 2% gain day, and then maybe I'll sell after that. At least that's the hope here. A couple other things I want you guys to know. This week is all about earnings as far as the stock market's concerned. So just be aware that if there's some bad earnings going on or something to, something about that, you may see Bitcoin have a sudden drop off of that news, or the NASDAQ have a drop, stuff like that. So far, earnings have been okay, not great, but okay. And I think that's good enough for the market to continue grinding on. Excuse me, guys. But if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. So far, we're looking okay. My tooth still hurts pretty bad as far as that wisdom tooth extraction here, a lot more than I thought it was going to. But I am going to stream tonight, so I hope to see you guys there, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks.